Main event segment. Tony Schiavone's in the ring. He called out Jack Perry. Comes out to no music. Fans are singing "Cry Me a River," and at first it was not many, but it picked up. And he took the mic. Tony Schiavone leaves in disgust, and more fans are singing it. So Jack Perry holds up the mic for everyone, and he says, "First thing first, I've had some of the best nights of my life right here in Jacksonville, but tonight we got business to handle, and I want to handle it right here, right now, face to face with Tony Khan." And he looks to the ramp. Fans are chanting, "He's our scapegoat." So Tony Khan comes out. I'm like, oh boy. He stands across from Jack. He's got an awkward smile. Jack says, "It's been a long road. Almost 5 years ago was the very first Double or Nothing. Since then, AEW has gone on to change the world. Now, Tony, it's no secret that we've had our ups and downs." Tony nods. He says, "I want to tell you this right now from the bottom of my heart. The only thing I've ever wanted is what's best for AEW." Tony Khan clapped at that and he looked at the crowd. "So I want to ask you to please shake my hand and reinstate me, and let's go and continue to change the world together." Tony Khan's got this big smile, puts his thumbs up, shakes his hand. They hug. Jack looks away to the camera with a sheepish grin, and he raises his hand, and I'm like, oh no. And Tony Khan pointed at him, just like he does with everybody he signs and hugs. And Perry hit him in the gut with a mic, and Tony Khan goes down like he's been shot. And out come the Bucks and Okada, and it's like, "This is a billionaire. What are you doing?" And Okada's checking on Tony Khan, and he backs off Perry. And then all of a sudden, the Bucks are like in position to give Tony Khan the EVP trigger. And there's like this big hush, and then they just help Tony up, and then they picked him up and they put him in a pile driver position, and they gave him the Meltzer driver. And Jack dragged him into the ring, and Bryce Rensburg comes out. "What the hell's wrong with you?" And more refs are out. Perry's flipping off the crowd. Crowd's booing. Matt Jackson just looks at the camera. He says, "Thank you, Jacksonville. We love you so much." And the crowd's chanting "scapegoat." The Elite leaves. Tony's lying dead in the ring. Baby faces run out to check on him, but it's mostly just losers. Some Mexican dude is front and center. I have no idea who it is.
Paul, do you not
What?
recognize who that was? That was Shad
No.
Khan.
Yes, that was.
Are you
Dad.
serious?
That
For
was
real?
Tony Khan's father.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea. How would I know? Like,
I
I
don't
thought
know.
it was, he mentioned that he hired somebody named Carlos recently, and I thought that might be who it was.
Carlos Cabrera. It's not Carlos Cabrera.
Okay. How would I know what Shad Khan looks like? Okay, so Shad Khan was there. Somebody
Yeah.
edit that. So I was really, really liking this show up until this segment, and I have no idea what to think about it. Because it's just bizarre. Like, I'm not sure if they're supposed to be baby faces or heels. I mean, I assume they're supposed to be heels, but I think the fans are cheering for them. If they're heels, then is CM Punk a baby face? What's Khan? Like, I just have no idea. I don't know.
This is a mess that they didn't have to make, and trust me, the AEW tribalists will be at war with the Jim Cornettes of the world, who are just going to eat this for this. This was chum in the water for those types. Now, let's my God, let's parse a couple of things out of this.
All right.
So, will AEW now just be All Elite Wrestling?
Isn't
Because
that what it
now
already
that
is?
the Elite has taken over the management in a coup against Tony Khan. Yes, Tony Khan is now an on-screen character instead of an NPC, which sucks. Yeah. Although, I mean, the trope has been used well. Don't get me wrong. David Crockett getting Russian sickled by Nikita, I thought was very effective at the time in the 80s, but it's been an overdone trope.
Vince
right
with Stone Cold, obviously.
Bully Ray powerbombing Dixie Carter through a table.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm mentioning Vince and Stone Cold, I'm talking the very first time before the Brett stuff happened. Remember when he stunned Vince and that kicked off his run? That was huge.
Let's get to the very problematic part of this. You fired a guy in the real world because you feared for your life, your own words, who never laid a finger on you. Mm-hmm. Now you're in your kayfabe world.
Yep.
And your executive vice presidents, one of your giant free agents, and the son of Luke Perry beat you up.
Yeah.
you have to fire them, right? I mean,
All of them.
I get that this is gonna probably turn into a match for the control of the company. And boy, don't we love office politics on wrestling shows? Isn't that a lot of fun? But still, my point stands that you're blurring the kayfabe and real worlds here with this in a way that I don't think. Look, it's not like Tony has the greatest grasp of subtle storytelling in the world. The Bucks are trolls. I get this. They're very good trolls at this. They probably want to use this to troll people. But at the same time, you want people to not be sympathetic to CM Punk, who you fired, who never touched you.
Right.
I'm sorry. This is just...
If they had never shown the footage and did everything else exactly the same, this
might be better.
It would probably be better because you wouldn't have Punk evoke. And there were some chants that got booed down. Like, I think the fan base is like, the people
they want to move on.
They're wanting to move on. And there's always going to be 3 or 4 dudes trying to start the chant, and they're going to get booed down. They're going to get attention for this. I think Tony is that person who thinks all discourse. Now, here's the part that is super interesting to me. Tony Khan is being followed by NFL Films as a behind-the-scenes documentary because the NFL draft is tomorrow.
Oh, God.
Does Tony Khan show up to the NFL draft and risk his credibility with the NFL to wear a neck brace?
Does his dad go on TV too on the draft?
I don't know, actually. I don't know.
He's probably in the war room. I mean, they're going to show the war room.
Oh, he's going to be in a neck brace. Remember Pat McAfee
body cast.
Remember Pat McAfee wore a neck brace to UFC?
Just have him wheel him in, and he's like got sunglasses because it made him go blind, and like, go over the top with it.
You give him a body cast, and then when the match is for the soul of the company, Tony Khan is in it, and they throw the body cast on a guy, and somebody can't count out of the 3.
Oh my God!
I'm here for this.
Okay,
I'm here for
now,
this ridiculous.
I want to play
a
slight devil's advocate on this, whether or not it sucked. And I do like what Jason said here. The reaction split into 3 camps. It sucked, it was awesome, or it was great but bad long term. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But depending on your perspective, I think that they need to take a chance. Whether or not it works, at least they're trying something different, because what they were doing, I'm not sure if it was working.
Hold on. What are they doing different than any other company that's gone up against WWE in the last 20 years? Because Dixie Carter did this crap all the time.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
And Kevin Nash powerbombed Eric Bischoff.
But they're in and that worked.
And then
that
Eric
put
Bischoff
them ahead of WWE.
The mastermind behind everything.
But that worked. Like, so if that's the argument you're making, and for TNA, they didn't have the platform that WWE does. So and then not only that, they didn't have the talent that AEW has.
There was a post-show video they posted on Twitter. I didn't catch the whole thing because I was playing it while listening to y'all, but it was pretty clearly framing the whole thing as the Bucks have taken over AEW. We finally changed the world. We finally made all elite, and this is the elite. The 4 of them being the elite, and they were pretty like a little less snarky, a little more like hardcore heel in it.
Could this actually just be writing out Tony Khan? Because you mentioned that he's finally an on-screen character. He's been an on-screen character for a while, so maybe this is getting rid of him.
I'm watching the gif of Perry hitting Tony. He hits him in the stomach with the microphone.
Yeah.
And Tony acts like he's knocked out. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's consistent with
punched before.
They could have coached him a little more. Yeah.
I'll bet you he hasn't.
Is he like a referee where every touch of him he becomes paper mache and collapses?
I would pay
sensitive young man.
I would pay like every cent in my bank account to see Steve Austin stun him and his sell for a stunner.
How he sells the NFL homepage, guys. Jaguars Tony Khan
I'm telling
takes
you.
punch pile driver.
Oh
He
my
has laid the
God.
groundwork for this to get coverage.
This is PR.
Yeah.
This is pure PR, and all these
You
people
know what?
complaining about
This might be brilliant
Joe
then,
Lanza and his
because the NFL
WWE
draft is tomorrow, right?
Right.
Like,
Yes.
and that's gonna be way outrate anything else on television this week by multiples, and they're gonna be talking about Tony
But
Khan.
if the people who are hosting the NFL draft TV show are just mocking this dude for, like, I would hope
Selling a
that,
pro
and,
wrestling
and that's a
angle.
sign. That's a sign to me that he knows what's going to happen as far as the NFL's role in this, and they're complicit to some degree, at least in going along with it, not participating in any way, but like, that, like, they're not going to, but that there would be a risk that it'd be like, oh my God, look at this cheesy wrestling dude, Yeah.
He's a spreadsheet guy. He's not part of the scouting department. He's not part of. I mean, he has business decisions in there, but he's going to be part of about 25 people in that room.
But isn't he
Right.
labeled like a co-owner?
No, he's like a vice president, I think.
Oh, okay. But he'll be front and center with his freaking
Yeah. But
neck
there was an
brace on,
article
or-
about that NFL Films was following him on draft.
Yes.
Course,
Okay.
like in a behind the scenes.
Now, maybe
so,
part of the documentary.
mm,
But yeah,
I
don't
smell
think
I
it's gonna be
smell
part
a
of it.
reality
This-
show coming.
all access season 2, Tony's year.